I'm gonna get you to pick a pine cone up from the ground.
Okay, a pine cone?
Yeah. Okay. And all these pine cones will be the same.
Okay.
But we have this beautiful Douglas fir behind us. And the Douglas fir has more carbon than any other tree in the world. And that means that it exchanges the rate of oxygen that we breathe more than any other tree. And this tree can actually withstand a forest fire. And this tree probably has withstood a forest fire. You can see that it's very different than all the other trees around here.
Mm-hmm.
The branches don't go all the way to the ground. They go all the way up. And Whiskey Jack is kind of a trickster in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the tree that he likes to, rest under.
Those are the ones that land in your hand, right? Those birds sometimes they'll land.
No, well, Whiskey Jack and Whiskey Jack are very similar names, but Whiskey Jack is a character from the Star World that kind of messed up a little bit, and the creator bowed him to earth. He still has magical powers, and he's the one that takes care of the boreal forest.
Oh, okay.
So Whiskey Jack was resting under his favorite tree. He needs a big tree to rest under because he's kind of like a big, not a giant, but bigger than an ordinary man. And he was resting, and the mice started crawling up his arms and his legs and getting into his nasty hair, and they found all sorts of treasures in there. They were really having a good time, big old party. And you can imagine when you wake up and you have a bunch of mice in your hair, how disgusting that would be. So he says, "Awasa!" He didn't want those mice in his hair, and he said, "You go away, you mice." And so he fell asleep under the tree again, and mice being mice, they went back up into his hair. And he said, "I told you, and I warned you not to go back in my hair." He said, "I'm going to bind you to this tree forever." And all the mice shrieked, and they tried to run away, and they ran into the acorns, and he bound them there forever. So if you look at that acorn, you're going to notice that you're going to see the little tail and the little feet of all the mice going into the acorn.
Oh, yeah.
You'll never look at a Douglas fir pine cone
The same
way.
Beautiful.
And that's the power of story. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.